Everyone, welcome back to another YouTube vid. It's been a while since I uploaded, and I did claim it would be consistent with the 3 express fundeds like I mentioned that I was going to do for the challenge, but I just have other stuff that I'm doing on this side that just takes up more of the time. But I'm going to try to be more active on YouTube with trading to give you guys knowledge on everything that happens, and also give you a new perspective on how to look at price and read it a lot better, so it could help you with your trading and your journey. But yeah, let's get right into it. So this is a trade recap from the 19th of December, just last Friday. So first thing we do, breaking down the daily profile. What is it doing? One, we see we're holding true quarterly open. That's good. So we start here from Monday. Monday, just continuation from what Friday was doing. Then we had Tuesday, took out the high. If we're playing off a CRT model, next is Monday low. So we came here, took it out. But what gave me the bullish bias on Friday and why I wanted higher was, if you look here, from Wednesday to Thursday, we create a divergence between ES and NQ, which are heavily more correlated compared to Dow Jones. But what's also important too is you have to look at the 3 triads as well too. You can't just look at one. You can, but looking at all 3 just gives you higher probability. And the Dow Jones, when it's expanding or when it's in its protraction phase or anything like that, it gives you a lot better analytics and data, in my personal opinion, on what price wants to do and when price will get driven and stuff like that. So we have an SMT here between Wednesday and Thursday. Lower low, higher low, and then lower low with the S. So we have a weekly SSMT from quarter 3 to quarter 4. Yes, within quarterly theory, Friday it's its own day, but you could still use quarter 3 and quarter 4 to give you that indication to move higher with quarterly theory. Even if you don't use quarterly theory, you can look at this as a logical and mechanical way, because one, we took the daily pivot low. What's next? The high. But not only that, if also we have draws on liquidity that's higher, and then we're also displacing off this daily fair value gap that we tapped into. So that's clear indication that price wants to go up. So yeah, now we go back, drop to the lower time frame, and let's speak about my entry. So when we're looking at when we're looking at the market with quarterly theory on a Friday, since Friday is, you have to look at it as its own day. So when you're breaking it down on a daily cycle level compared to a weekly cycle level. So what do I mean by that is you're breaking it down from Asia, London, New York AM, New York PM. But obviously I trade the New York open session, which is from 6 all the way till 12 o'clock. So what did I notice when I came into the charts? One, we already established that I'm looking for longs. So what will help support it? So right here we marked out the true session open, which I marked this out as 7:30 p.m. So that's quarter 2 of New York AM, and then true weekly open is already marked out after Monday's close. And then we have true day open here. So what do we see here? We have a daily sequential SSMT. So that's a divergence between, we have a divergence between London low, which will set here, and New York low right here. And as you can see on ES, we created a higher low. YM, we created a higher low. So since NQ took out the low here, and ES and Dow Jones created the higher low, I anticipated that New York had already manipulated, especially since it manipulated at 8 o'clock. And as you could see here, we're starting to expand pre-market. I knew that the manipulation was done, and we were going to continue to expand as soon as 9:30 opens. When you guys have to keep in mind that if manipulation happens before 9:30, then 9:30 is set to expand, because after manipulation, we always want to trade away from it. So this is also what gave me an indication on why I wanted to go long, was we had a sequential SSMT, and with a daily sequential SSMT, you're waiting for a 15-minute confirmation, which all you're doing is just marking out the open of the candle. Since this candle closed bullish, you want to mark the T-sis, which is true change in state of delivery, off the bearish candle. So since this one closed bullish, you just look to the candle to the left to mark out the T-sis level. If this candle closed bearish, then you would mark it up here. But since it closed bullish, we're looking to the left, so on and so on. If, for instance, both of these candles are bullish, then you'll look to the next candle to mark off the T-sis level. But for this example and outcome that happened, we're marking this level out. So as you can see here, if we just play price really quickly, right here, boom, 8:15, 8:30, broke above it, 8:45, we're still respecting it. One thing too with sequential SSMT, how you can tell is higher probability, is when it's created under stacked open. So the fact that this daily SSMT was formed below true day open, true weekly open, and true session open, that showed us that we're at extreme time discount. And when this happens, you can anticipate that the expansion move is going to be very aggressive. And you'll see here in a couple minutes that the move was very aggressive. Another thing I want to explain to you guys as well too is why I was also bullish, was the fact that, one, we inverse also this 4-hour fair value gap, but not only that, we reclaim volume area low. So I also use another theory, it's called auction market theory. You can find this here, which is fixed range volume profile. And what I like to do with it is I preferably would like SMTs to be formed below volume area low and above volume area high, or within POC, which is point of control, because when it forms under, you can usually, when we use SMT, it stands for smart money technique, we're anticipating a reversal to happen, but the fact that it's created under volume area low and we reclaim inside of the volume profile, that gives us an even stronger indication that the reversal is set and we're ready to expand higher or lower depending on where the SMT was formed. But what I like to also add into it, instead of using a regular SMT, since I trade the quarterly theory concept within also my strategy, I just look for a SSMT. So one, I'm getting volume indication that we want to go higher, and I'm using time to correlate with it as well too. So another reason why I was long. So boom, we go here, T-sis level. I'll mark this out for you guys right here just so we're on the same page. So me, sometimes I get a little anxious with getting in, pre-market a bit, because the volatility and everything is just super risky, and over a long period of time just entering off of pre-market really isn't the best. But with this one, I just let price develop within a minute, with a couple minutes, I think 1 to 2 minutes, and once I saw that price was expanding very hard, then I just knew, okay, we're just going to continuously rip and just expand higher. Because also looking at the 4-hour candle, since if you follow GXT, you know what the universal sequence is. So just reading price regularly, we inverse, we created a sis right here, we broke above it, and then also this 4-hour candle manipulated, so then we're pushing higher. So once we play this here on the 15-minute, you can see, oh shit. So you could see here, boom, we just straight expanded. So 9:15, 9:30, exactly as I anticipated, we were just straight expanding, and it was a perfect move. So I'll explain the risk management behind this trade. So as 9:30 opened, I didn't get in straight at 9:30. I got in around once 9:30 kind of closed, 9:31, I got in roughly around this candle, but I just, yeah, my entry was somewhere around here. So one, we before 9:30 we were breaking down, and then if we're also looking at the 5 minute, we had a 5 minute fair value gap. So boom, we created the 5 minute fair value gap. This 5 minute candles will also give me stronger indication that 9:30 was going to expand, because the fact that we held this 5 minute fair value gap while tapping into this one and tapping true session open, I was like, okay, we're bullish. This is good to go, especially the length of this bottom wick right here. The fact that we still closed bearish and sellers were in control, but the size of this wick also gave me indication that the next candle was just ready to rip. So boom, dropped down to the 1 minute. We let price develop a bit. Once I saw that we were expanding, and then we also created this 1 minute T-sis, I got in just about as when 9:30 was about to close, got in my trade. And then with me, since I knew 9:30 was going to expand, I went break even instantly. Usually, me personally, if I'm going to get in right as market opens and we're expanding super hard, you're better off just let price expand and then just going break even instantly, because one, since there's so much volatility, like anything could happen. Like right here, we had a pretty decently strong retracement, but the fact that we had this 1 minute fair value gap, we continued up. We had a 1 minute fair value gap here. My entry was around this level. We could have, dove back down here and then got ready to expand on the next 4 hour candle. You just never know. So with me, once we expanded and this next 1 minute candle closed, my entry was 25,387, and this 1 minute candle, we damn near went up 50 points or whatever. I instantly went break even, because I'm like, okay, so 1 to 3 hour trade, I'm already up 1 hour roughly. I'm going break even. Now I just hold and wait. So boom, I'm managing. Once we created this low on this 1 minute time frame and inverse this 1 minute, I was like, this is perfect. I trailed my stop loss right under this lower time frame low, and then the macro time started to develop, and more volatility started to get injected, since the hourly candle is getting ready to close while the 4 hour candle is getting ready to close. So more volatility is injected when new candles are opening up in the first 10 minute and closing within the first 10 minutes. So yep, that's it. Trade was roughly quick 15 minutes. So we had 3 express funded accounts, as you can see here. 3 express, and we made 1.2k. So you do the math, 1.2k times 3, it's roughly 3.6k, 3.7k, whatever it is. Yeah, in 15 minutes, can't complain. This was a very good trade. And yeah, also another thing to note too, why I was also pretty bullish, was looking at the 1 hour. For breaking down the 1 hour on a candle profile, we created the SSMT, but this 1 hour created a swing point right here. So this is, candle 1. You have candle 2 here creating a swing point indicating the reversal. And then what's candle 3 next? Candle 3 is set to expand usually, if it's following that sequence correctly. And as you can see here, if you're also just measuring out the candle, we're bouncing perfectly off the EQ of this 1 hour candle, filling in that wick on the 1 hour, and then just pushing price higher. And that's it. That was the trade for Friday. A nice trade, 15 minutes, 3.7k. Can't complain. And yeah, headed up straight to POC right here too. This is my Twitter here. If you want to follow, I'll put it in my bio. I'll put my Telegram in my bio. There's nothing on my Telegram, but I'm getting ready to drop some documents in there. Just free stuff that I, wrote in there. And then you guys can send over questions through my YouTube comments or Twitter DMs or comments, whatever it is. And I'm also going to drop other, knowledge as well too. Not just with trading, more psychology, I guess. More esoteric wisdom, little stuff like that. That'll also benefit trading, but also your real life as well too, because trading on the charts is also a big correlation with how you operate within the real world as well too. It's a big reflection. So yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new. Feel free to drop any comments. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, have a good one.